Hey, everybody. Today, I want to share with you something that we're developing that I'm excited about, and I think integrates a couple of different approaches and products that we've been offering. If you've been through the Abundance for Bar Study Masterclass, you know that we've talked about changing your brain state and moving to the proper resource level for different parts of your study. Just to remind you, there were several different channels of the brain that we really are focused on. The channel that we're really interested in for today is the 8 to 12 hertz learning channel. This is where you process learning. It's the home of that real sense of deeper learning, its calmness, its inner awareness, and its relaxation. And one of the ways that you can enhance that particular channel is by using something that's called a fast finish. Now, let me explain the fast finish to you. When you have been listening or watching a lecture and doing your reading or photo reading, it's often a good idea to be able to consolidate that material later. But we often don't have enough time to go all the way through a lecture and repeat it for 3 hours worth of material. And so one of the things that Paul Sheely did was to create this idea of a fast finish. It's essentially a speeded up audio track of what you've already listened to. Now, the great news is that the technology behind a fast finish is now much more broadly available than it was a few years ago. And so based on requests from our students, what we've done is to begin a process of creating fast finish audios of our lecture series. So we started with the multi-state set, and what we're doing is replacing those in our bar maps pages. So you do have to be a bar maps customer. If you're not familiar with bar maps, it's a series of interactive videos and mind maps that we've created for every subject, and multi-state is included in all of those. Now, with the fast finish audio, what we've done is to take the audio track of the lectures and we've put them into a compressed version. Basically, we've compressed the speed of the lecture at about 1.25 to 1.5 times normal. And you might think, how fast is that? I'm going to show you in just a moment. It's plenty quick, but it's too fast for a first listen to the material. So how do you use it? What I would like to see you do is to go through the course as you have in your syllabus with your photo reading or regular reading, and then the lecture, and then the question practice. Then when it's time to go back and start reviewing, go to the bar maps page and find the interactive video and the mind maps, work through all of that. And then when it's time to really wrap it all up, what I want you to do is bring yourself into the learning channel state of awareness. You remember we did that through the idea of just literally putting yourself in the right mental state using the signal of thinking of the number 3 and then the number 2. And at the number 2, you're actually going to stop. We don't need to get into the resource level of number 1. We just want to be in the resource channel of learning, and that's the number 2. And if you've got any question about that or it's not familiar to you, go back and check out the Abundance for Bar Study Masterclass. We talk about that and actually give you the technique in detail. I want you to get into that learning channel. And once you've hit the learning channel, then what I want you to do is to select the fast finish audio. You'll see it here on your bar maps page. And I want you to just simply listen to that audio. So let me play just a little bit of one of those audios so that you can get a sense of how the audio works.
Welcome to Multi-State Constitutional Law Lectures 1 and 2. This is going to be a fun 6 or 7 hours, probably 7 hours, maybe 8. I don't know. I really like this subject a lot, so I tend to go a little bit deeper here, and for that, I ask for your forgiveness in advance. Now, constitutional law represents the 25 questions on the bar exam, and the National Conference of Bar Examiners have given us information about how they break out those 25 questions in terms of topic areas and areas of emphasis. Essentially, what we've done is to split the 2 lectures equally with the way the outline is set up. That is, one section, which is called individual rights, we'll talk about that in more detail in a moment, represents 50% of questions on the multi-state bar exam in
Okay, so you get a sense of it. Now that's a 3-hour lecture that actually runs about 1 hour and 45 minutes. And so you can see you're going to go through it really fast. At that speed, you can't take notes. You can't do anything except absorb it. And you might be saying to yourself, how in the world can I understand it at that speed? Interestingly enough, your brain will adapt to it and will hear it just fine, particularly as you go further into the lecture. And I think you're going to find that this is a terrific way to take the material that you've already seen in the video form and then in the bar map, looking at the way that the video is set up there so that you've got the lecture. And of course, you have the ability in all of these bar maps to identify the section that you want. So you're doing that, and then you're going to your mind map and you're getting the opportunity in the mind map to see how the visual of this works and even go deeper in that. And then once you've done all of that, you have the ability to go even further and working within your mind map, taking the fast finish. So it's an amazing opportunity, I think, for you to be able to work through each of these pieces. And I really encourage you to do that. I hope that you give yourself the opportunity to try this and check it out. Now, if you don't have bar maps, you certainly want to get those. And then you'll find that in the bar maps, we've got the fast finishes. As I'm recording today, we've only done the fast finish for the multi-state, but we will be adding it as we go along. And I'd love to get your feedback as we do it. We may try and get faster with the fast finish. That's an interesting question to see how that will go, but we're going to keep working on that and we'll see where we go. But I would love to have you try these. You can listen to them as often as you want. And I think they're going to be really helpful for you. But remember, before you get into the fast finish, get into the learning channel. That's the 8 to 12 hertz of thinking of the number 2. And that will put you in the learning channel. And remember that in order to do that, you're focusing your mind in the present moment, the here and now. You're creating a calm internal state. This is the ideal state for learning, and it links the signal to the state of channel 3 or the learning channel. And then we encourage you to post your experience in the Facebook group and hope that you find this to be a useful technique. And thanks for watching and sharing. Take care. Bye-bye.